on to 2018. Hope everyone had a good holidays. Happy New Year. And hey, we're in a whole new year. It's been not quite a year that I started this actual YouTube channel. And my whole Hiking for Health thing that I've got set up on Instagram, Facebook, and all that. But we are in a new year. I started in late January of 2017, so not quite the anniversary of this. So we do a little adjustment here. But we're close. And so with that, welcome to basically episode 1 of the new version of the update, where it's not going to be so much centered on weight loss and dieting. We're going to cover that now and then. I've kind of decided at the end of every month I'll kind of give an update on how that's going. But my focus is going to be mostly now on hiking and hiking subjects and things like that. I think, it's still going to be basically centered around what I'm doing wise about hiking and where I'm going and things like that. And hopefully that still holds your interest and you want to watch. But it's not going to, every week, last year it was mostly every week. Here, did I lose something? Did I not lose something? And then maybe a little quick blurb on if I got out and walked and stuff. I want there to be a little bit more substance going on. That's what we're shooting for with Hiker Homily. And what the heck's a homily? Some of you guys might be asking. Well, it's a fancy word basically for a talk, a chat. So Hiker Homily is what we're working on here. That's the name I came up with. Hopefully you're okay with that. But that's kind of what the update has become. I did almost a year of updates. Like I said, it was kind of getting into territory where it's like this can't be that interesting for people to be looking at. Big deal. You've lost 2 pounds, or you gained 1.5 pounds, or and then you walked on the levee this week, or you didn't walk on the levee this week. That's basically what I was reporting on. So we're going to be doing more than that. Along with more hike reports and good stuff like that, when we're actually doing Hiker Homily, and I'm going to aim for a weekly thing, we're going to be talking about different subjects. And the first subject we're going to talk about is the holidays. I hope you all had good holidays, and I say holidays because there's more than one in wintertime. My family personally celebrates Christmas. We celebrate the winter solstice as well, and we also celebrate New Year's. So, just right there, just my family. That's 3 different holidays. So, there's no war on Christmas here. I'm saying happy holidays because I'm talking about multiple ones that we celebrated throughout the winter. And now we're getting back to our regular schedule. My wife's getting ready to go back to work, and the kids are... My daughter's already in Georgia, headed back to school. My son will be back in school next week, and oh, man, just like that, they're over. But I did want to say that I did get some hiking-related gifts. My family was awesome to me this year. Some things some people don't think are hiking-related gifts, but as far as I'm concerned, they definitely are, and that includes my my summer sausage that I got. Yes. I also got. I did not expect it. My wife surprised me because she actually was listening to some of the things I was thinking about getting for future backpack trips. As some of you, if you were paying attention, know, I typically use the Sawyer Mini on the last couple of backpack trips I went on and things like that, and I liked it. The only thing with it is, because it is kind of a smaller thing, the flow isn't really there for filling whole liter bottles like I was trying to do on a backpack trip. For real quick, just get some water, put it in a thing and filter it. It works really good. I'm going to keep my Sawyer Minis as backups and things like that. But I wanted to jump up to the Sawyer Squeeze, and guess what? Christmas Day came along, and in one of my packages, the Sawyer Squeeze. Awesome. And once I get out there and actually use it and stuff like that, I will be doing a gear review on it. And since I have used the Sawyer Mini, I will be doing a gear review on it. But having done some research online and looked at a lot of other hikers who post things on YouTube and reviews and things like that, the Sawyer Squeeze is up there. It's a lot of hikers like it and things like that. So I'm looking forward to getting out there on the trail with it. And this year, we'll talk about it a little bit later, this year it's going to be big for that kind of thing. I'm going to get a lot of use out of it, I have a feeling. And another thing for the holidays, aside from the gifts, is I've kind of taken some time off the trail. It's been about 2 weeks since I've actually gone out and just even done some walking. And really, I cannot blame the weather. I live in California, and right now, we've had some colder temperatures here in the northern end of the Central Valley than even normal. Normally, we're in the high 40s, low 50s, and we've actually been in the 30s and stuff like that at night and things. In the daytime, we're still climbing up into the 50s. So it's not horrible. I could have gone out there, especially compared to all my hiking brothers and sisters out there on the East Coast who are dealing with bomb cyclones and sub-zero temperatures and feet of snow. Man, I feel for you. Some of you are still getting out there. I think you're crazy, but you're still getting out there. Awesome. But really, for me, it wasn't the weather. It was just the fact that my daughter's been gone to college out of state. I mean, we're not talking about she's a couple of towns over and can come visit us on a weekend now and then, stuff like that. She, we're in California, and she's going to college in Georgia. So she was able to come back for the holidays and just went back home yesterday. And my son's off school. My wife, being a teacher, has been off. And so with the family here and off, I wanted to spend time with them and not time out there. Even if it was just a couple hours getting a few miles in. I just wanted to just be with the family, and so I took some time off the trail. That is ending as of this Saturday. We're jumping right into it, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But that's kind of what's been going on. I kind of took a holiday break, basically. That's what I've done. I'm sorry about that, but that's just kind of how life is. I want to take a holiday break, and that meant really no videos either, because that would have been boring. There was nothing to report on besides me sitting around, drinking hot chocolate and hanging out with the family. So that's about it. So we'll be moving on to our next topic. Without trying to rant or anything, the topic I want to get on now is the upcoming hikes and trips I have planned for the immediate next few months. Let's say going out to about March is what I'm guessing about. Because I have some big stuff planned this year, but as far as the immediate future, in 2 days I will be going out with the Central Valley Hiking and Backpacking Club. I believe I said last time that I went to one of the meetings and have kind of joined that club. And their first day hike is going to be this Saturday. I'm filming this on Thursday. This Saturday, the 6th? I think it's the 6th. What day is it? The 6th! Saturday the 6th, we are meeting, and I will be going with them to Stevens Trail, which is up in the Colfax area. For those of you who don't know California, that's basically the foothills turning into the northern Sierras area. We're going to do 9 miles on Stevens Trail, and I'm looking forward to that. It's supposed to be a challenging hike with some elevation change. So I'll be having my my trekking poles out and all that kind of good stuff. But the meeting I went to with this group seems like a good group of people. I'm looking forward to hiking with them. And so there we go. 2 days from now, we're breaking the holiday break with a 9-miler into the foothills of the Sierras. That should be good. Coming up either in February or March, depending on how some other schedules with things like the Boy Scouts and family schedules works out. I tend on doing a Sunol to Fremont Peak hike. That's about 8.5 miles from Sunol Regional Park. It's an East Bay Regional Park that's over in the East Bay near Pleasant and Dublin area, and getting into actual Fremont. And you can hike on this trail. Actually, you can hike a lot longer distance, but from Sunol to Fremont Peak down to the Fremont Peak trailhead parking is about 8.5 miles. I'm going to be doing that with some friends who have said they want to do it with me, so that'll be awesome. I think my son's going to come along as well, so that should be a good one. But we have not set a full date for that yet, because I have some Boy Scout stuff that's up in the air that they want to do in February, and I'll talk about that in a sec. So once I get those dates set, I can figure out when I can set this one. So I'm shooting for February, but it's looking like it might actually be March that we actually get off on that one. But that's going to be Sunol Regional Park to Fremont Peak, 8.5 miles. And then the next one coming up in January, the end of January here, will be road trip more than a hike, and it's going to be with the Boy Scouts, and that's going to be a tour of a Coast Guard cutter over in the Bay Area. That should be pretty cool. Hopefully unless they tell me I can't, I'll get some footage of that just as a road trip video. And then coming up, shooting for February, that's one of the things that's up in the air. I haven't got a date for it yet. I have to contact the National Park Service and figure it out. But we're hoping to do a Boy Scout overnight backpack trip on Angel Island in San Francisco. Now, I have a hike report up for Angel Island that my family did a hike around the perimeter road. It's awesome. I have spent the night out on Angel Island before, years ago, with another Boy Scout troop. It was a lot of fun. We're hoping to have fun this time with this Boy Scout troop and have a good time. It's a really cool place to do. It's easy backpacking, and it's a cool place to camp because at night you can climb up some of the hill trails and you can see the lights of the city across the bay. It's really awesome. So we're looking forward to that, and that's going to be sometime in February is what we're shooting for that one. And once that date solidifies, I'll have more for you there. But that's basically what's coming up for Hiking for Health. All those things I talked about, I will of course try to get footage for it. And get some either hike reports or road trip reports or something like that out, or at the very least talk about it on Hiker Homily. So that's what we've got coming up. What I want to talk about next has been a little challenge I set for myself. I started keeping track in late January of the miles that I was walking, whether it was actual exercise walking on a trail somewhere or hiking. I kept track of the miles I did all year long. I was shooting for 365, and for those of you who can do the math, that means I was shooting for a mile a day. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out that way. I didn't hit that goal. But I have to admit that I am happy with what I did hit, considering the fact that I started at 300 pounds and just trying to get into shape to do more hiking. I ended up doing 279.3 miles, which translates to 449.5 kilometers. As far as I'm concerned, that's not bad. I wish I would have hit the 365 mark. I'm going to go for it again this year. And this year, I'm pretty sure I will be topping 365 and probably doing more because I have some big, just this Saturday, I'm going to be doing a 9-miler just on a day hike. And this club is really going to inspire me, I think, that I've joined to do miles because they do regular day hikes. And most of them are in the 6 to 9 to 10 mile range. And then they also do some backpack trips that are like week-long backpack trips. So I'm going to be getting some miles in this year compared to last year. But anyway, for now, yes, 279.3 miles. I consider that a win. It wasn't the goal I set, but we got close to that. And considering how I started, the shape I was in, I feel better now. I feel like I'm in better shape, and I think it's pretty cool. I'm happy with that number, and we're going to improve on that this year. I guarantee it. So we're going to do a little bit of a hiker rant, and what we're going to talk about is the phrase, hike your own hike. And you'll see it sometimes on the backpacker groups online, spelled out as H-Y-O-H, which we pronounce hi-yo. I actually don't know if that's how it's pronounced. I just thought that was pretty cool, though. Hi-yo! Hi-yo! Anyway, hike your own hike. It serves a purpose. It really does to say hike your own hike. The only problem is it's become a mantra for some people who want to use it as an excuse to be dumb or to be stubborn or things like that. Hike your own hike. And again, this is kind of a rant. This is kind of an opinion piece. Hike your own hike, in my opinion, is the whole thing you do for like through hikes. If you are with a group of people and they want to do 25-mile days, but you only feel like you're up to 15-mile days, then you do 15-mile days. Don't push yourself so hard just because they're doing 25 miles. You don't have to do that. It is nice to hike with the group, so try to find a group, and you can do that on these through hikes from what I've seen. Try to find a group that matches your hiking style, which is, 15-mile days or whatever you want to do. If you want to hike 25-mile days and you're with a group of people who want to do 10 miles or 15 a day, okay, don't pressure them to keep up with you. Just say, hey, I got to do my hike. Hike your own hike. And catch up to a group that's doing 25-mile days. Okay? There shouldn't be any of this back and forth. It was kind of put out there, I think, to kind of prevent the whole elitist attitude. If you're not an ultralight backpacker, then you're not a real backpacker. No, that's bullshit. Okay? That's total bullshit. I'm going to be frank about it. That's where Hike Your Own Hike comes into it. Yes, I know I can get a tent for $800 that's only going to cost £1.50 pounds. But I like my 4.5 pound tent. It works well for me. I'm going to carry it. Can I get a lighter tent? Yes, I can. Do I have to get a lighter tent and to make me a better backpacker? No, I don't have to. And it works the other way too. Okay, if you think you're this old school, I carry a 5-pound tent because I'm a real man type of thing, and you ultralighters are a bunch of namby-pamby. No, that's also bullshit. Okay? Do it your way when it comes to stuff like that. Okay? The stuff that I bump my head on though, and hi-yo, and I've seen it online now several times on different backpacking groups, is where people use that saying as an excuse to endanger others. There was a young man on one of the backpacking groups who was frustrated with his family situation and just said, screw it, I want to go out and do a thru hike. Would it be a bad idea to do that now? I've never been on a thru hike before. I don't have any real winter equipment. This is information we found out a little bit later after his initial post. No real winter equipment. He had some 3-season stuff, but he's in an area that right now is seeing major cyclone bomb weather, okay? And he'd be out there in the middle of it now if he would have taken the hi-yo excuse that some people threw at him. Because a lot of people came on saying, well, it's not really a great time to do a thru hike depending on where you're at. If you're in Arizona, sure, go ahead, thru hike. You're probably going to be okay. There are certain parts of California you could probably do some thru hiking still and be okay. But where he was at, no, it wasn't going to be safe with the improper equipment. Can you thru hike in the wintertime? You absolutely can, if you have the right equipment. This young man did not have the proper experience, and he did not have the right equipment. He was basically just desperate to try and get out there and away from his family life and situation, because it was hard on him. And I get that. Believe me, I get that. But that's not an excuse to be unsafe. But there were several people who piped up on that thread and hike your own hike, man, go for it. No, that is not what Hike Your Own Hike is for. Hike Your Own Hike is not for endangering people and telling them to go out in the effing wintertime when they don't have the right equipment or any experience really through hiking at all, let alone in the wintertime, and just telling them to go for it. That's not what Hike Your Own Hike is for. That's stupidity. You don't push that. Hike Your Own Hike is for, yeah, man, if you want to be an ultralighter, go for it. Yeah, if you want to do 15 miles a day as opposed to 20 or 25, go for it. You want to carry a heavier tent because it just works out better for you and it's worth it for you for the comfort, go for it. Okay? That's what Hike Your Own Hike is for. It is not for being stubborn, I'm going to do it this way even though it might endanger my life. Okay? Hike your own hike, man. I know that river is flowing strong and it's 3 times the size it normally is because of the snowpocalypse in the Sierras. But you know what? You don't have to stop and wait. Hike your own hike, man. Go ahead and cross that sucker. Be safe. Hike your own hike does not replace safety. There are some people out there who that really is the way they are. So that's basically it. My rant is pretty much over, but that's the gist of the whole thing. Hike your own hike is not there to replace safety or brains. Hike Your Own Hike is there to give you the freedom and to get rid of elitism, okay? You're not a worse backpacker than so-and-so because his pack is 35 pounds and yours is 55 pounds. That doesn't make you a worse backpacker than them. That doesn't make you different. It's just not that way. Hike your own hike. If 55 pounds works for you and you're okay with that and you're trekking down the trail having a good old time, then you are hiking your own hike, and that's how it is. If you're using a 30-pound backpack and you're having a great time and you're not starving yourself and you're having fun out there, you are hiking your own hike, okay? You are not hiking your own hike. Well, maybe you are, but you're endangering yourself if you're doing it with no winter equipment in 6 feet of snow and you have no experience in snow camping whatsoever. That's ridiculous hiking your own hike. You're endangering yourself. Don't do that. And don't push people to do that with, hi-yo. Thanks. So, one of the other things that happened at the very end of 2017 that's coming up for 2018 is now I am a Nuun Ambassador. What in the world? I don't know either. That's just wild. All right, some of you might be asking what Nuun is. Nuun is an electrolyte hydration system. Yeah, I know you can think of all kinds of hydration drinks that you can buy in the stores, and that's cool. Nuun is one that works well with just water. You get your own water. It's tablets. You put it in the water, and you get all the electrolytes and things like that. It's a lot of runners and a lot of marathoners and Ironman races and things like that are big on using it and things like that. But I think it works well for hiking because sometimes your water sources, even when you're filtering, the filtering doesn't help the taste of the water that you got it from. And guess what? You can put this in the water. It'll make the water taste better. And at the same time, you can get electrolytes. They even have a vitamin one that you can put there and get vitamins out of it and things like that. I'm going to do a whole separate report on it soon about why I chose, because I applied for it. Because full disclosure, they're not paying me. I am a Nuun Ambassador, but that's not a paid position. They're not paying me to advertise their product. I liked their product, have been using it before, and when I saw that they had an ambassadorship open, I applied for it, and I was one of the many people who were picked to be Nuun Ambassadors. So you will see their logo and stuff like that now and then on my videos and things like that because I believe in the product. That's why I applied to be an ambassador. I'm happy to be an ambassador, and I will talk a little bit more about it. Not really as a commercial, but just to say this is why I picked it. This is why I use it, okay? That's all I want to tell you when I get into it. I'm not going to try and sell anything to you. I'm just going to tell you, here's why I'm using it. If you think those are good reasons, give it a try. See if you like it. If it's not for you, it's not for you. But there are several reasons beyond just that it gives me electrolytes that I picked Nuun specifically, and I will get into those in a different video. But for now, just letting you know, hey, I'm a Nuun Ambassador. I like that. Wow. Moving up in the world. Anyway, anybody wants to sponsor me with actual money, that'd be fantastic. But yeah, I know with under 50 subscriptions, I'm probably never going to see that. But that's okay. I'm all right. Those people that are following me and subscribe to me, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, so that's Hiker Homily number 1. I don't know why I did that, because that's not 1. This is 1. That's kind of what I'm looking at. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be giving you little updates on actual things that are coming up, talking about actual hikes I've been on, aside from the hike reports and things like that. And then I will usually at least once a week pick an actual hiking topic like I did this week with the hi-oh, and kind of either rant on it or talk a little bit about it. Just basically my opinion on that particular topic for the trail. If you have any comments about my opinion, disagree if you want to. If you do it, please respectfully. Don't be jerks and like, oh, you're an a-hole for no. I disagree with you, and here's why. I'm cool with that. I'm a big boy. I can handle people disagreeing. If you agree with me, say that too. That's outstanding. Because maybe that'll get some discussion on the topic. And I've learned new things from people disagreeing with me and saying, here's why I disagree. And then I'll think, wow, that makes kind of sense. Let me look into that. What they're saying makes sense. I don't know if I'm fully going over to their opinion, but I see why they have the opinion. That's how adults handle things, okay? They don't handle things by swearing and stuff like that. Because some of the topics I'm going to tell you right now, well, hike your own hike is one of them. They get kind of divisive on the hiking trail and backpacker forums and things like that. People take some of this stuff way too emotionally, and they get all crazy about it and get into insulting people because they have different opinions about certain subjects. And that's just kind of crazy. Be grown-ups. How are you going to get out on the trail and act like a child? You can't do that. So be a grown-up on the forums as well, okay? But that was Hiker Homily number 1. Hopefully it's something you're interested in more than me sitting here talking about I lost this many pounds and stuff like that, or didn't lose this many pounds, and et cetera, et cetera. So hope you're interested, and you'll tune in next time for Hiker Homily number 2, which will hopefully be coming up next week. I'm not sure. Because of the holidays, I'm kind of off schedule. Usually I would film this kind of stuff like on a Sunday or a Monday at the beginning of the week. And then get it out at the beginning of the week. But because the holiday's here and my daughter going home, I'm kind of doing this late in the week. I'm filming this on a Thursday. I'm hoping to have it posted Thursday night, but you might not see it until Friday, depending on what kind of time I have to edit and all that kind of stuff tonight. But I'm hoping to get this out weekly, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing it at the beginning of the weeks, the end of the weeks, all that kind of stuff. We'll kind of see how it goes, but hopefully it's something you enjoy, and there it is. That's kind of my take on how things are going, and we'll see you next week.